Yeah, my name is Chris Number Two. I play in the band Anti-Flag. We've been a band for about 10 years now. Um, we have 5 records out. First one is called Die for the Government. Next record is called A New Kind of Army. Then we put out 2 records on Fat, one called uh, Underground Network, and the next called The Terror State. Um, and yeah, the name anti-flag is about the meaning of anti-nationalism and not sort of pledging allegiance to any flag, uh, much like multinational corporations do around the world, who will exploit people for any reason they see just. But then at home we're told, USA number one, or France is the best country in the world, or whatever we're indoctrinated with in our own sort of nationalities. There are these fake borders and fake boundaries that separate us, and that's what anti-flag is about, really trying to get down to the level and understanding that we are all just human beings, regardless of the language barrier or regardless of what we're told separates us. It depends. Sometimes the song is built around lyrics. Sometimes the music inspires the lyrics. Basically, though, we like the songs to sort of sound like what the idea of the song is about. If it's a sort of more progressive song ideologically, we want the music to be a little more progressive and hard for us to play almost. But if it's like a fuck you, fuck police brutality, or fuck the flag, a song that's very simple in its idea, we want the music to be just as simple and just as hard and fast, and they kind of work hand in hand. But at a very young age, we were told that if you write a song that sounds good, more people will listen to what you have to say. And when we first started, we thought, like, we're punk, let's just be hard and heavy and scream about, why we think the governments of the world are fucked. But then we started to realize, like, look, if you have a real song and it's listenable and people can, clap along or tap their foot to it and think it's a good song, they might read the lyrics and find out that it's about more than just being a good song. The new album will not be on Fat Wreck. It's coming out on RCA Records. And we put out 2 records on Fat, and it was a difficult decision to sort of move on from there. But we felt like we were recording the same record again, and it was getting sort of the same push and getting to the same people that it always had. And not that that was generally a bad thing, but we really want to grow with this next record. We don't see any reason why our records shouldn't be readily available and not imports here in France and not imports around the world. We want them to come out in these countries and to have an impact. And we really want to be a worldwide band that really goes for it heavy. Well, it is and it isn't. On the one sense, it's difficult to stomach being involved in this major corporation. But on the other hand, when you look at where we've come from and the labels that we were on, even AF Records, the label we own, is a corporation. Like just because you have to go and file the paperwork of becoming a corporation doesn't necessarily make you exploit third world cultures and things like that for money. But beyond that, I think that, whether or not being on RCA will work, we don't know. But we spent about 9 months negotiating a contract with that label that guarantees they don't touch our website, they don't touch our songs, they don't touch our lyrics, they don't touch our artwork.
They don't give you instructions?
Yeah, nothing. Like we have 100% control over every aspect of Anti-Flag. And even other bands on major labels, if you go on the website, you'll see it'll say like copyright Geffen Records or whatever at the bottom of their website, and they have nothing like that on us. Like everything is ours. And if they don't like it, or if a record doesn't come out in a certain territory, the rights revert back to us, and we pick up whoever wants to distribute it in that territory. And basically, like, we've been getting offers from major labels since I joined the band, whenever A New Kind of Army was about to come out, but no major label was willing to guarantee us our freedom and our control, and they were the first ones too. And it was like, look, we have an opportunity we feel like the songs we're writing right for this next record are really good, and we want everyone to hear them. And a part of that, it's an interesting aspect of our politics. We are very amicable, and we are definitely end justifies the means. For example, when we do something like the Warped Tour, which is corporately sponsored, we feel bad about it. We're like, we are up here singing about the same companies that are giving money to this tour we're on. However, if we're not on that stage doing it, nobody is. So it's better to have a voice there, even if it's inside, shouting. So if we play a big show or put out a record on a bigger label and, say 10 people buy the album and one person gets something from it, it was worth it for us to do that, and that's the way Anti-Flag has always run things. And there are bands that see things very differently than us, and we're totally cool with that. Like, I think that just like you and just like me, like whether it be relationships or life in general, we're all trying to get to like an end destination. And like I may go this way and you may go this way, but we're both trying to get at the same spot. So that's really what this move to the next label is about. And nobody, knows more than the four of us in the band how much we worked to make sure that this wasn't a bad decision, So all we can do is hope for the people that like Anti-Flag, that have been there since the beginning, wait until they hear the new record and see it and realize that, oh, they're the same band. They just have a different address in the back of their label, I'm sorry. I tried. We tried everything, It's one of those things where even if George Bush lost the election, it's not like the next day we could roll over and write songs about puppy dogs and flowers, There were still a ton of problems that face us. However, it would have been great if he would have lost, But he's got, 2 more years left, and once he's gone, we're going to fight to get, the Republicans out of control of the White House and cabinet, and then from there we're going to fight to get the Democrats out and get in some more liberals and really push for a progressive agenda. I think that, if I could wave a magic wand and make it illegal for politicians to not get money from corporations, I would do that in a heartbeat. But that's not the case, So I think we just need to stay focused. And if I would say that George Bush did one thing right in his whole presidency, the only thing he did was inspire us, make us angry, and get us organized. And, I think that with each day, the war is losing steam, and people in America are getting upset about it. More and more people think it's a bad idea. With each day, the threats of privatizing Social Security are just driving Bush's approval rating into the ground, and I think we're on the brink of another Vietnam, and that sort of is going to lead to a definite spike and a transition, and I think it's going to push people more to the left than to the right, where they've been going for the last couple of years. So hopefully that's one thing that George Bush is a paradigm president and sparks the revolution the other way. Well, we've got about 2 more weeks here in Europe, then we go right into the studio to record another album. It's going to come out early next year. Then we're going to tour the world, and hopefully people like the record, and we'll just keep hammering at it like we have been for a while now. Thank you very much. If you need to know more about the band Anti-Flag, you can go to anti-flag.com. If you need to know more about the world, you can go to undergroundactionalliance.org. Thank you. Peace.
Okay.